The introduction of the new rookie class of 2022 has already got NBA fans predicting these young stars' futures. One most notably who stands out is 7-footer Chet Holmgren out of Gonzaga, who has been named by league analysts as a generational talent. Chet has a versatile game which helps stretch the floor with his three-point shooting and ability to finish at the rim. However, he lacks strength, which arises questions to how his game will translate from college into the NBA, with bigger, stronger players like Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic who have near 110 pounds over Holmgren. Despite that, Holmgren's deep bag scoring the ball has drawn him comparisons to KD and Kristaps Porzingis, two 7-footers who can similarly stretch the floor with their shooting and ball handling ability. On Tuesday the 5th of July, Chet made his much-anticipated debut against the Utah Jazz, who had fellow 7-footer Taco Fall. All eyes were on Holmgren as fans watched to see potentially the next coming of Kevin Durant. But with the pressure, Holmgren did not disappoint. JC just rolled the tape.
Get the ball back, so one steal leads to the other. Holmgren up top and down.
What happened for the Jazz? The ball has to move. And the hectic.
Palmer gets it back, drives on Holmgren. Step back, blocked by Holmgren. Now he runs the floor like a guard, dishes off, down low inside. He gives it off to Holmgren, back inside. Holmgren, one-on-one against Law. Takes the bump, now the jumper.
To get him in foul trouble.
Here's Law, baseline. Takes it.
Now it is safe to say Chet had put the league on notice. In just 23 minutes he dropped 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists and 6 blocks. Just look how he absorbs the contact and uses it to bounce off into a fadeaway jump shot. He was looking like Dirk out there. Not only that, his willingness to almost be put on this man's highlight tape. But Chet says not in my house and blocks the dunk. Chet even broke the Summer League record for blocks in a game. And all he had to say was,
new Summer League record for blocks. We talked about your competitive spirit. Only 6. That's a record.
Oh, well, I'm coming to break it again, so.
Okay, tomorrow, there's always tomorrow.
Okay Chet, I like the confidence in the young gun. Chet respectively had the best debut out of the top 3 picks, himself, Banchero, and Smith, who also put up good stat lines. However, the key issue analysts had with Chet came apparent in his second game, as he faced the Grizzlies with undrafted fan favorite, Kenneth Lofton Jr., who stands at 6'7" and weighs around 280 pounds. Lofton, a great player, but a player with a quarter of the skill of the likes of Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic, used his weight to bully Chet in the paint, dropping 19 points, the most of his Summer League campaign so far. Chet still put up a respectable double-double, with 11 points and 12 rebounds. However, it wasn't the performance fans expected after he had danced all over the Utah Jazz, and highlighted the potential issues Holmgren may face when going up against more skilled, stronger centers than Lofton. The debate arises, however, is this too early to call, as Chet and the OKC Thunder had played the previous night as well? Most would say not, and getting stronger is an area of Chet's game he will have to improve, if he wants to stand a chance at defending the average NBA center. This doesn't prevent Holmgren from being a generational talent, however. When Giannis entered the league he had a similar size and weight to Holmgren and now is completely jacked. I'm not saying Holmgren will look like Giannis in 5 years, but with the work in the NBA weight room for a couple years he will most likely be able to hold his own on the defensive side against the majority of centers. However, despite being bullied in the paint by Lofton, Chet has still put the league on notice in his recent games against Jabari Smith Jr. and Paolo Banchero, showing off his impressive shot-making ability for a big man alongside his shot blocking. Chet's game has brought a new dynamic to the OKC Thunder. His ability to knock down the 3 and stretch the floor sees him around the 3-point line often, which provides problems for opposing defenders, as they respect Chet's ability to knock down the 3, but also have to run the risk of him driving into the rim, or to bounce off contact and hit a fadeaway like Dirk. Chet's game so far has also seen his Aussie teammate Josh Giddey's game improve, as Chet's ability to stretch the floor has allowed Giddey to play to his strengths of passing the ball and finding the open teammate, as they get left open. From what we have seen from the Holmgren-Giddey duo so far, it is looking like Thunder fans have got a bright future ahead. The pairing off Holmgren with 2 great passers of the ball, Shai and Giddey, will almost certainly elevate Holmgren's, as he tries to live up to the hype of being a generational talent. I see Holmgren having a bright future in the league, and having a similar career to Kevin Durant. Funny that as they both were drafted 2nd overall by the Thunder. I say I can see him having a similar career as Kevin Durant, not only because of the physical similarities, but if Chet can grow into the scorer a young KD was, and still is today, the lack of strength on defense shall fade away. KD still provides a defensive impact, often getting blocks and preventing players from driving into the paint. Whether Holmgren will ever win a Defensive Player of the Year award Well, it is too early to predict. It is important to remember as well, we are basing all of this off 4 summer league games, where the standard is much lower than the NBA. And with that I will come back to the final question. Will Chet Holmgren become a generational talent in the NBA? I think so. His ability to shot create and shoot the ball will bring a new role to the everyday center, which most centers can't do. To the level of Chet, Holmgren in my opinion will most likely provide a large impact as soon as he steps on the court for the Thunder, and could be an all-star by the age of 21. If he can stay away from injury with his large lanky frame, he could really be one of the next greats of the game. I look forward to seeing how Holmgren's career plays out, and if he can win an NBA championship with the Thunder, who have one of the brightest futures in the league, stacked with talent, and more draft picks to come. I think this class of 2022 can be one we look back on in a couple years' time, as one of the greatest draft classes, with Chet at the forefront of its success. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, hey, why don't you subscribe and drop a like on the video? It would be much appreciated. Make sure to let me know in the comments your opinions, and whether you think Chet can be a generational talent. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching. It's been JC and I'm out.